bring in a guy who I'm sure has a strong view about why I think you think there's a very bad idea. Grover Norquist is here, president of Americans for Tax Reform. Grover, I'll let you have at it. But I will ask you this. Put it in this context. At some point, all of these programs that everybody's proposing, including the Republicans, we have to try to pay for them somehow. And so the question is how?
Well, first of all, the Republican goal is to actually reform entitlements rather than to figure out how to pay entitlements that will bankrupt the country, that will double the size of the federal government if we just don't do anything over the next 20, 30, 40 years. So, yes, something has to be done, but let's reform that spending as Clinton did with aid to families with dependent children. He block granted it out to the state level. I think it's extremely healthy for the Republic that Bloomberg was forced to put out actual numbers. This is a very scary, these are Jimmy Carter levels of capital gains tax, and we know what that does to the American economy. We've seen this before. And when he says he's only going to hit rich people, remember the personal income tax put in 1913, we were told the top rate was 7%, and it was only on people in today's dollars making over $11.5 million. So you shouldn't worry. It's just guys making $11.5 million. When you hear of the numbers that Sanders was going to put a wealth tax on anyone has more than $32 million, or our friend Bloomberg is going to have a superheated capital gains tax on anyone who makes $1 million in a year, those numbers won't stand. Those numbers will go down for Bloomberg to 100,000 within a few years if this was ever passed. It is an amazing high tax. I'm not sure you could put it in the economy and expect it to keep going. Can I ask a question,
though, because you tried to equate this with Carter, and the other piece, though, that gets missed during that period is the stagflation, which was a function of what was taking place during his administration, and I'm not sure that was because of taxes at that time. No?
Well, every time we've reduced the capital gains tax, we've seen revenue increase and the economy do better. When we have increased the capital gains tax, as was done in '86, we saw projected revenue, fall and the economy do less well. So we've got a pretty good track record. It's never moved the other way. Capital gains tax is one of the most destructive taxes of economic growth. Doesn't bother people who are already rich like Bloomberg. He's already made his money.
Yeah, but Grover, this idea that the capital gains tax could creep lower and affect the everyday American. I mean, 80% or more of capital gains income goes to the top 5%. So by nature, capital gains is a wealthy source of income. But it's going to hit the top. It's not going to hit many average Americans unless they sell their house, in which case there's an exclusion in the tax code.
Or unless they want a job. And we're looking at when you have these wealth taxes that are being proposed and high income taxes, and what Bloomberg's saying is it's unconstitutional, he's probably right, to tax wealth. But you can tax the income of people you think are wealthy as high as you want, according to the Constitution. And so you can, in effect, create a wealth tax using the income tax. And that's what he's trying to do. His plan is extremely radical. It does suggest that even a businessman on the Democratic Party doesn't have any guardrails on how far left they can go on a tax increase like this. Look, the idea of promoting envy of other people's stuff, covetousness of other people's stuff, is a very European attitude. Traditionally, it hasn't been an American one.
It's a longer conversation. They're playing us out. We want to thank you, though.